What's going on, ladies and gents? Before we start off with the video, remember we have codes. That's right. If you are in the following regions, these three codes are currently going on. So Europe, North America, and South America code. That's right. COA top 1 EN is your code. Asia, Australia, Middle East, and Africa, COA top 1 AS. And then anyone on the PS platform, COAT OP1PS. Those are the codes. So remember, depending on the platform in your region, these are the codes you want to use. So guys, put these in, get yourself some free rewards, and let's get on with the video. What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another Crystal of Atlan video. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about the good and the bad. The things that have been going on the first day. Some of you guys have actually had some complaints, and very valid ones. I want to go over some of these complaints and talk to you guys how I feel about them personally myself and what we can do to fix these issues, and perhaps, you know, some of the issues that people have revolving around specifically the stamina system. Right now, the stamina system obviously is meant to gatekeep and make you spend a little bit of time on other things, or make you spend your currency to upgrade that stamina. This is a very common thing in many gachas. Some of you guys may not be used to it. Me personally, as a gamer, honestly, I don't mind it. And I'm gonna give you guys the reasons why. Now, this is obviously not gonna be a take for everybody, and everyone's gonna have their own opinions. I'm just gonna give you mine, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the good and the bad in this game right now, and things that you should look out for personally, and how you should approach this game as a player. Okay, now I'm gonna specifically talk about the pay to win and free to play side of things, and what my take is on the whole thing. So let's get into it. So here we are, guys, playing the game right now. I'm currently on a stage, so bear with me here as I'm playing, okay? We're going to be going through a little bit of combat as well as some gameplay here. Now, I want to talk about the stamina system. All right, so the way the stamina system works is very simple. Every single day, you get a certain amount of stamina that you can use in the game, and the stamina will eventually regen itself once the reset happens, okay? So that's something to remember. Now, is that a problem for a lot of people? Yes, it really is. So the reason why people are not happy about it, they want to rush through the game, and they want to complete the story mode, continue farming. They want to, you know, do the best they can to max out their characters. But I'll be honest with you guys, one of the things you have to realize about this game is they want you to use multiple characters at a time. And the reason why that's important is because when you start using those multiple characters, you are able to get yourself many different things and many rewards. So you know how when you level up, right? You know how when you level up, there's those like packages you get for leveling? Well, you can get those for every character and get yourself a ton of summons. So what the devs want you essentially to do is to use as many of those characters as possible, to play with as many of those characters as possible, and continue getting yourself titles, outfits, pets, etc. Right? So it's very important, guys, that you realize that that's kind of the goal of the game, is to have you try every class. Now, I mentioned this in my last video that any class is viable in this game. Every class. It all depends on your playstyle. It all depends on what you want to play and what you want to do with the game. If you want to be a range character, like I mentioned, use the gunner, use the warlock, use the magician, elementalist, it doesn't matter, right? If you want to be, or even the scythe guard, which is a very balanced class. If you want to be melee, use the swordsman, or you use yourself the fighter, and then go off with the branches there. So, or you know, or if you want to be a bounty hunter and have a little bit of both, you can do that as well too. So there's a lot of different ways to approach this game. Is there a meta currently? Not that I know of. Right? And I'm going to be doing a lot of testing videos for this game, because there is a testing dummy feature, which I absolutely love. And we're going to be covering that. So first off, character-wise, don't worry about it. Stamina-wise, this is the big one, right? Like I mentioned, many people are upset about this, but I think personally, if you have a main game, then it's not that big of a deal, right? For example, I play Solo Leveling Arise. I'm one of the bigger content creators for that game, and that game has zero stamina system. So for me, I can spend all day doing that if there's content to do. But I personally love it when a game kind of gives you a limitation of things you can do, and also kind of forces you to not necessarily touch grass, but just go do something else, right? And this is another big thing too, is you have to remember, as gamers, we always want to play. But at the end of the day, these are gacha games, and gacha games are notorious for not bringing out too much content at a time. So the gatekeeping isn't just for you to spend money, but it's also, reality of it is, these games don't have too much content. Once you finish the content that's available, you're going to be sitting here waiting for the next bit to come out, and it's going to take quite some time. So keep that in mind as well, guys. Now, with all that being said, I do want to discuss at least how to deal with the stamina system. So first off, you can use your currencies to refresh it. I don't recommend it. What I do recommend, though, is later on in the game, when you get to the higher levels and you want to start farming things, right? I'm talking about farming things as in like artifacts and stuff in dungeons. That's where you really want to start using your energy currency renewals, right? Which is essentially giving you your stamina back through the boxes. That's when you want to start doing that. You don't want to do that too early just to get level up. Be patient, right? Resets will happen. You will get yourself what you need in regards to moving on. But the real currency should be used, honestly, for those times where dungeons are available, and that's where you want to farm most of your legendary gear, and that's what's going to actually bring you the most amount of content and the best results. So I wouldn't be using my energy refreshes anytime soon, guys. I would save it for dungeons that are going to be happening later on. So please be wise, be mindful of that. Now, if you plan to be pay to win, you can of course do whatever you want. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. The pay to win aspect of this game can get very, very pricey. Very pricey. And we're talking about the packs are expensive, the summons are expensive, the pities aren't the greatest, I'm not going to lie to you, and we'll talk a little bit about the summons shortly and what you should go for as a player, like if you plan to summon and spend. Just as usual, guys, I say this in every single game that I cover, please spend responsibly. It's a game, and you guys will obviously, you know, have other things in life and priorities that require you to spend your hard-earned cash. So please just be mindful of that, okay? I just want to make sure people are spending responsibly. Now, if you plan to spend, I will go over some of the things you should be going for in the summoning section after this fight. But I honestly feel like this game, for me personally, I'm not planning to spend on it. And the reason why I don't plan to spend on it is not because I don't like it. It's just I feel like the real challenge comes from PvP. Right? And I'm not huge on the PvP aspect of the game, and I normally am not, so it's nothing to do with this game. I think the PvP is fantastic in this game, but at the same time, it's not something that I'm really looking forward to. What I'm looking forward to in this game is playing with friends, doing co-op modes, doing dungeons together, and just dabbling a little bit of PvP, because the rewards are actually pretty good. So for me personally, I'm going to keep it as free to play. I am going to build every class, to be honest with you, and I plan to play every class, so that's going to make my free-to-play journey a little bit longer than the pay-to-win journey, but at the same time, I'll be able to reap all the benefits that are available with building multi-classes. As I mentioned, all those level-up packages are available for every class, and you can take advantage of them, plus you share titles and stuff on your account, so that's going to make life a little bit easier when you're going for the major things. And yes, before you guys ask me, you know, Payne, is this game free-to-play friendly or not? It really is free-to-play friendly to some extent, but it also is very pay-to-win on the other side. Like I said, if you plan to be competitive, get ready to compete with a lot of big whales. People care about this game a lot right now, and they will spend a lot on this game just to make it, you know, get through it and to make a ton of money on it. So if you, or not to make a ton of, this company plans to make a ton of money on this game, right? So keep that in mind. So if you are planning to spend, like I said, get ready. And especially if you want to compete, get ready to spend a lot of money, guys. All right, so in terms of summons, what's most important? What do you want to go for? So I'm going to be real with you guys. It's this here. I would say the first thing I would go for is probably a title. Titles are great because they work for all characters, and you guys can use those titles amongst any of the classes that you decide to play. So I would summon with titles first, as I feel like that's going to probably give you the most bang for your buck in regards to that. Now, after that, the next thing I would probably go for is an outfit. And outfits are great because they give a massive boost of power, plus they have set bonuses, right? So those set bonuses are going to be a pretty big deal. And then from there, I would focus on pets last, all right? Pets are going to be one of the ones that you'll be able to collect throughout the game as well. They'll give you fairly decent ones just for logging in for the first 7 days, which is the Crystal Fox, which is a healer, and you guys can use that pet for quite some time. Now, the pets that are out after that in the pay-to-win system are way stronger, obviously, right? But they're not a make or break at this point of the game. The game is too early. If you look at the CN version, there's a lot more coming out, including classes and other pets and other outfits. So, and the CN version actually gave some legendary outfits out for free. So if you're patient enough, you can actually get a lot of this stuff for free and not have to worry about paying a penny. But again, that's up to you how fast you want to advance, how much you care about the PvP aspect of it, and how much the competitive force of this game matters to you, right? So that's all on you as a player. But again, like I said, I'm being real with you guys. I don't think you need to be pay to win in this to make this game fun. All right, you may end up having to do some PvP, you know, smashing and getting yourself destroyed a little bit because of whales. But again, if that's gonna bother you, then this is probably not the right game for you. To be real, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So please just spend responsibly, enjoy the game, guys. Again, remember, classes are all viable. Every class is viable. So don't worry about one class being better than another. It's all going to come down to your gameplay and how you enjoy using your class. At the end of the day, you guys can see here, I'm using a fighter. I'm completely new to this in regards to this class. If you are going to be playing this game, keep in mind, there are going to be hurdles and humps that you're going to have to go through as a free-to-play player. And at the end of the day, I can't believe I just died, actually. That was surprising. I'm not paying attention to my health even. at the end of the day, it's going to come down to like how much do you care about the game? How much is it going to matter to you if you're number one and number two or number three? Or at the end of the day, how much you're going to be playing this game long term. All right, guys, this is Payne. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.